The ground breathes, not gently, not quietly, but in slow, poisonous exhalations that ripple through a landscape that should not exist. Here the earth is open, exposed, alive in a way that feels wrong. Colors burn across the horizon, neon yellows, toxic greens, streaks of orange so bright they look painted into reality. Pools bubble and spit acid into the air. Cracks in the crust glow faintly with heat, like veins beneath skin. This is not another world. This is Earth, at its most extreme. The Danakil Depression, one of the lowest places on the planet. One of the hottest. One of the most hostile environments ever recorded. A place where life should end. And yet, it doesn't. The air itself feels heavy, thick with sulfur. Every breath carries the sharp sting of chemicals rising from deep within the planet's crust. The ground crunches underfoot, salt crystals, brittle and sharp, layered over ancient lava flows that have cooled but never truly died. Temperature climbs relentlessly, day after day, often above 45 degrees Celsius, sometimes higher. Heat doesn't just surround you. It presses into you, wraps around your lungs, slows your thoughts. Time stretches here. Not because it's peaceful, but because survival demands it. This is a land being torn apart. The African continent is splitting, slowly, almost invisibly, but relentlessly. Deep beneath the surface, tectonic plates pull away from each other, creating fractures that allow magma to rise. The Earth is opening from below, and what spills out is raw creation. Volcanic vents hiss like living creatures. Boiling springs churn with minerals pooled from the depths, iron, sulfur, salt, painting the ground in colors that feel unnatural, almost digital. But nothing here is artificial. Every shape, every color, every violent reaction is real. This is one of the only places on Earth where you can watch a planet being formed. Not millions of years ago, now. The land stretches outward in strange, warped patterns. Salt flats shimmer in the distance, reflecting light like frozen oceans. Up close, they fracture into endless polygons, geometric scars left by evaporation and heat. There is no softness here, no green, no relief, only extremes. And yet, movement. In the distance, figures emerge through the heat haze, slow, deliberate. Camels, long lines of them. Caravans crossing the salt plains just as they have for centuries. Their footsteps steady, their pace unbroken, guided by humans who know this land not as a nightmare, but as a lifeline. The Afar people, one of the few groups on Earth who call this place home. They walk across terrain that would destroy most within hours. They cut blocks of salt from the earth, load them onto camels, and begin the long journey across the desert. No shortcuts, no escape, just endurance. For them, this is not an alien world. It is survival. But even here, life is fragile. Water is scarce, often undrinkable. What looks like a pool might be acid. What appears solid might collapse into boiling mud beneath your feet. Nothing can be trusted. And yet, something persists. At the edges of these hostile pools, in places where heat and chemistry should erase all existence, microscopic life thrives. Extremophiles, organisms that live where life should be impossible. They feed on chemicals instead of sunlight. They survive temperatures and acidity that would destroy almost anything else. These are not just survivors. They are clues. Clues to how life might exist beyond Earth. Because if something can live here, in acid, in heat, in poison, then maybe life doesn't need gentle conditions. Maybe it never did. The wind shifts, carrying heat across the plains. It moves through the sulfur fields, bending invisible waves of gas into the air. It whistles across salt crusts and over ancient lava, whispering through cracks in the earth that go deeper than we can see. And somewhere beneath it all, magma moves. Slowly, relentlessly. The surface may cool, may harden, may give the illusion of stillness, but below, nothing is still. Volcanoes rise in the distance, dark silhouettes against a sky bleached by heat. Some are quiet, others are not. Erta Ale, one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a permanent lava lake, a place where molten rock churns endlessly, glowing red against the darkness. It pulses, it shifts, it breathes, like a heart. Standing at its edge feels like standing at the boundary of creation itself. The air shimmers. The ground trembles slightly underfoot. The glow reflects in the sky, casting an unnatural light over everything. There is no silence here, only the low, constant sound of something ancient moving beneath you. It reminds you of something simple. This planet is not stable, not fixed, not finished. It is alive. And this place is where that life is most visible. But the Danakil Depression is not only fire. It is also absence. A vast emptiness that stretches beyond sight. No trees, no shade, no softness to rest against. Just horizon after horizon of exposed earth. And in that emptiness, something shifts inside you. Perspective. Because here, survival is stripped down to its most basic form. Water, shade, movement. Nothing else matters. Not time, not comfort, not even direction. Only endurance. The sun begins to lower, not with relief, but with transformation. As light fades, the colors deepen. The acid pools glow darker, richer. The salt plains reflect the sky in muted tones. Shadows stretch long across the fractured ground, revealing textures hidden in the brightness of day. And then, the heat lingers, even without the sun. The ground radiates warmth it has absorbed, releasing it slowly into the night. The air remains heavy. The silence grows thicker. And above, the sky changes. Stars begin to appear, one by one, sharp, clear, untouched by pollution or artificial light. It feels infinite. But below, the earth still glows faintly in places, as if refusing to fully surrender to darkness. Fire and void, side by side. In this moment, the Danakil feels less like a place and more like a threshold between what the earth is and what it is becoming. Because this landscape is not permanent. Nothing here is. The plates will continue to pull apart. The land will sink further. The sea may one day flood this depression, turning it into an entirely different world. What you see now is temporary. A brief glimpse of a planet in transition. And that is what makes it so powerful, so unsettling, so unforgettable, because it shows something we rarely see. Not the finished Earth, but the process. Raw, violent, unfiltered. The making of a world. And in that process, a question lingers. If this is Earth at its most extreme, at its most hostile, at its most alien, then what does that say about the rest of the universe? Because maybe this isn't the exception. Maybe this is the beginning. And maybe somewhere far beyond this horizon, beyond this planet, landscapes like this are not rare. They are common. The Danakil Depression does not just challenge survival. It challenges perception. It forces you to confront a version of Earth that feels unfamiliar, almost unreal, yet undeniably true. A place where beauty and danger are the same thing, where creation and destruction exist in a single breath, where the ground itself reminds you, this world is not built for comfort. It is built for change. And here, in one of the harshest places imaginable, that change is still unfolding.